This is TWiT.
So as we mentioned a few weeks ago, the fine folks at Motorola sent me the Moto Z2 Force to kind of test drive. And they also, part of it was I was chatting with them about my being an advocate for modular phones and all the Moto Mods. And I figured I should walk the walk for a little bit. So I've been using this now for maybe about 3 weeks or so. And I'll get into the details, but on first glance, I really like this phone. Like, I really like it. Like, it's like I kind of don't want to send it back. That's how much I like it. We've talked about it on the show recently, but it's, you know, in terms of excuse me, in terms of the Android implementation, you know, they sent me a version that was optimized for T-Mobile. So there's about 6 or so T-Mobile apps that came pre-installed. And then there's a few Moto apps, like, you know, kind of some apps that control the Moto Mods and kind of a link to the whole Moto world. But aside from that, it's really close to stock. It feels very stocky. Like when I opened it up, it had the Google search bar front and center, along with the little circular clock widget that comes from Moto phones. But the size is a little bigger than the Nextbit Robin that I was using. I got used to that very quickly. Even holding the Pixel, the regular Pixel in my hand next to the Moto Z2, the Pixel feels kind of small and not good, right? Which is kind of crazy. But in general, the form factor of the phone is great. It's very, very thin. I mean, just crazy thin, because that is helping for the Moto Mods, right? Which we've seen. And Flo, you've had this phone in before, so we've had this on the show before.
I'm using it right now.
There you go. I think the Moto Mods are great. They sent me the 360 camera, right, which is with the little thing with the little protective nubbin that goes over the lens right there, right? And nubbin. They also sent me the battery pack, which is boring. It's in my bag. I'm not gonna show you guys. But they sent the JBL speaker kind of attachment, right? So, you know, if you if you're going out to the park or the beach or whatever. And then they also sent the projector, which is right here.
Wow, you got the whole kit almost.
I got the whole kit. These are awesome. I think the whole Moto Mod system is great. The pogo pins are great. The magnets are great. I never had a problem snapping one on or snapping them off. Once you snap them on, they kind of come to life on the phone and it automatically works. The speakers sound great. My real only complaint about the whole Moto Mod system is that I don't know where to put these all when I go out, right? And so, you know, like often when I'm going to work, I've got my bag with me with my laptop. I can throw them in the bag, that's fine. But like on a weekend, we're walking around, you know, like we're walking around New York City, we go in Central Park, decide to sit down. It'd be great to have music. Oh, I forgot the speakers, or I didn't bring the speakers, right? You know, who went like. And I get the idea of carrying the 360 camera, especially if you're big on the if you're big on the on photography and things like that. You might carry that around with you. I get even carrying the speakers because you never know when you might want to like listen to music or whatever. But who's going to carry around a projector when just in case you want to project something, right? Like that is a very specific use case, and unless you're planning for it. It really, the bulkiness of the Moto Mods really limits the spontaneous nature of using them. Or you just carry a bag with you, or you carry a fanny pack. I did appreciate that the projector was the only one that came with a little pouch to put it in, while the other ones were just kind of out in the open. So I feel like this at least felt a little protected. So when I throw it in my bag, I kind of have it. So I love the whole idea of it. I love the whole implementation of it. I just found a practical use case of it. I'm not going to carry these around in my pocket and fill all my pockets with them at all times, right? Even the Moto battery pack mod, you know, I'm so used to, because the Nextbit Robin battery got so bad, I was so used to carrying an external battery in my bag. And so I'm like, oh, I'll just slide the battery pack in my back pocket and have it with me just in case. But it's as big as the phone. So when I'd sit down, I'd be afraid of breaking it and like all this sort of stuff. It didn't easily insert into my life to carry the battery around. Luckily, the battery life on this has been great. And I've only needed the battery pack like twice, I think, in the 3 weeks I've been using it. So that's very good. The big things that people care about is the cameras, right? So I actually made a little Google photo album. Victor, I don't know if you want to click on that.
What is that? Oh, it's right next to it.
It's in the dock. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah. So on here for reference, so generally everyone knows, and if you follow me on Instagram, I'm not a great photographer, right? So this photo right here, it was taken with the Nextbit Robin. So that's for reference. So that's an example of a live music nightclub kind of photo. These are the kind of photos I like to take because I go see bands. And if you zoom in, the Nextbit Robin really does not take a very good picture in that environment, right? You can see, yeah, it was not good, right? So then if you jump to the fourth picture, Victor, you can see a picture I took Sunday night with the Moto Z2. Well, that's my niece, Abby.
Hi, Abby.
Yeah, that's my, there you go. Over one more. I couldn't reorder the photos. There you go. So I took this picture Sunday night with the Moto Z2, and it's hard to tell with the zoom and with the browser or whatever, but this is a much crisper, much better picture. This happens to be of the Descendant.
Yeah.
Of the Descendants.
Oh,
it's a better,
much better.
It's a better photo, right?
Better photo, and yeah, the Descendants.
Yeah, and
that was a good show.
So,
I know it was.
It was a great show. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I was immediately impressed by the low light nightclub photos that I was able to take with this. But then if you slide back, Victor, there's a couple of outdoor photos that you can see. I took a picture at the Mets game the other day. Really nice, it was right, before sunset, so good light. That's a real pretty picture. And then going back one more, you see the picture of my niece that I took outside. That's my patio. I took that to. That's a picture of my niece in front of the marsh on Long Island. This one, like I took this. This is one of the first pictures I took with this phone, and I was like, "Wow,
it's really sharp."
This is way better than what I'm taking with the Nextbit Robin. Nice. And then if you go over to the last picture from the porch, I wanted to test the background being blurry, whatever that is, and that came out great. That's something I could never do on the Nextbit Robin. So, all in all, thumbs up on the Moto Z2 Force. Like if I didn't pick up this Pixel and if I was able to actually keep the Moto Z2 Force, I might use it as my daily driver. My only complaint, aside from the bulkiness, and I don't know if this will come off in the on camera, but if you can see, I don't know, you can't really see it, but there is like a protective plastic sheet in front of the on top of the display, and it's starting to peel up. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh,
the same thing was happening
right
with my review unit. Yeah.
Oh.
It's that shatter shield.
Yep.
Right. That's what keeps the display from shattering. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So, I mean, I don't, as we've documented, I don't use a case, and I shove my phone in my pocket and I take it out of the pocket, and I also carry keys on my belt loop. And I imagine that probably pulling the phone out of the pocket and coming up against the keys is causing that. But that's not the only spot. There's like all along the bottom of it, it's starting to peel up, and also along the top, and also similar to and a little bit on the sides. And similar to your experience with the Essential, Jason, I've got a bunch of micro scratches on the top, which I figure is just the whatchamacallit, is just your price of admission. I know in the chat room, Burke is yelling at me to peel it off. And for a moment, I was like, "Oh, is that a plastic peel? Like, was I supposed to take that off?" But I don't think I'm supposed to take this off. So, yeah,
nope.
Don't do it, Ron.
No, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of a ding right there.
It's a little bit of a dings. But all in all, I mean, go ahead.
If you peel that off, is it any different from the Nexus or Pixel XL or anything from far as a protection standpoint? It's just naked Gorilla Glass, right? Or is it not Gorilla Glass?
I don't think it's
Gorilla
Glass.
Not. It's not Gorilla Glass because that's just one of the layers. I mean, basically, it's a shatterproof screen. So even with that on, yeah, right, in air quotes, it's more of a plasticky type display as opposed to glass, I think, throughout, right?
Yeah. So So according to the GSM Arena specs for the phone, it's a POLED capacitive touchscreen, and it just says protection shatterproof. It's not Gorilla Glass.
Right.
So yeah.
So it's not like a traditional screen.
So do not peel it off.
Yeah, I would say no, don't peel it off. Yeah.
Now that said, it's not my phone, so I was like, ooh, let me stop here now. Let me be a little more careful with it. Yeah. If it was my phone, I might try peeling it off, and then I probably would regret it.
Then you'd regret it.
So maybe invest in a screen protector or some sort of another one that goes on top of it. But yeah, I mean, on a scale of like 1 to 5, like 5 being the best, I give this like a solid 4.5. Like I really like this phone.
That's what I gave it.
Oh, nice. There it is.
I need
Ron and I have the same
Motorola to
brain.
send
Yeah,
me
I know,
one of
you
those.
really
I'd like to test that.
Sorry.
Oh, I said I need Motorola to send me one.
I wish they would. So you would know how it's a great phone. I mean, I really like it.
It's also a game console.
Look at that.
Oh, nice.
It's also a
have one.
blender.
You have the game
Excuse
control
me.
mod.
Oh, that happened on camera. Yeah, I actually just got the gamepad and I decided to bring it today. I actually can't take it out of this, which maybe is a good thing.
It's permanent.
Yeah, sorry, Ron. I was quiet because I was playing Sonic over here on this little gamepad. This is the Moto gamepad, one of the Moto mods, the gamepad console, and it surprisingly works really well. I was just playing
awesome.
Sonic. It has a headphone jack, and it has an extra 1,035 milliamp of battery, and I died on camera. Yeah, and you can use both joysticks to play through various games, apparently.
That is pretty slick.
Yeah, it's I know, I played this game how many times?
Oh.
It's pretty neat. I think I'm gonna
it's
take
pretty
this
sweet.
home and turn this into a little emulation machine.
I know, right?
I mean, I'm
That's
just
exactly
saying.
what I'm thinking.
I wish they sent me that mod. I would totally. It looks like a Nintendo
It just
Switch.
came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It makes it kind of like a Switch.
It actually just came out.
And it's $79.99.
$79.99.
Oh, you did it.
I always get stuck there.
Yeah, you gotta go slow on
I
that
had
part.
there's the home button.
Man.
I had downloaded a couple games, then I realized there's no point, and some of these you can't play
On the
because
controller.
they go vertical
Oh, yeah.
by default. So you can only play certain games. I don't know. I'll turn that into a little gaming thing. I just thought I'd bring it. In the bag, it looks like a Tesla.
Cool.
It does. Now, Flo, have you spent enough time with it from, just gameplay time and felt the temperature rise up on it?
Oh, no. I literally just popped it in as Ron started talking.
Oh, okay.
I just got it today. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I would wonder if it heats
That's cute.
but
things
I
up.
will let you know as soon as I download some more games on this thing.
Cool. Load it
I
up.
mean, you think about like the Daydream and just how hot your devices get from, roughly 10 minutes.
The Z2 Force, I actually did some daydream time with it, and I found it didn't get as hot, at least as the Z Force, because that phone got really hot. That phone gets so hot it would be hard to hold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that
this
sometimes
one
that can
though,
take the fun out
not
of
too
it.
bad after a VR sesh. Just saying.
Nice.